Alright guys, how's it going? It is Tuesday the 14th of April 2020 and you're watching KopTalk.tv. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, don't have you been cleaning chimneys or something? Like, what's going on? It's my Ghostbusters t-shirt, guys. You know, who are you going to call them? All that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm down with the kids, man. I know what I'm doing. Listen, I'm glad you enjoyed the videos yesterday. I think I churned out 4 yesterday. One of them was a members video. You can become a member by clicking on join. Underneath the video, you can support my channel and I get access to my other videos as well. I did a video on my personal YouTube channel, Duncan Oldham, just talking about things. And I updated the KopTalk podcast and the Dunk Knows Best podcast, and both of those will be updated again today too. They're on Spotify, TuneIn, Deezer, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search KopTalk and Dunk Knows Best if you want the other one. So yeah, you all right? Yeah, I've been up long, to be honest. You can probably tell I look a bit tired. I've just been out with the dogs. I ain't even had a drink yet, so I'm going to do this video and then have a cuppa. I did a live stream yesterday as well. Thanks to those of you that came along to the live stream. I'm going to be going live today as well on this YouTube channel if you want to join me. Probably in about an hour throughout the day today, I think, maybe. I'll probably kill it when I do my podcasts and then maybe go live again tonight. We'll see. If you go to my channel on here, the main page, there's a little bell. Just click on that and change notifications to all. And use the YouTube app if you can download it to your phone, because it's very good. And it'll tell you when new videos have gone on and stuff like that. And KopTalk TV on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. So should we get on with what we're going to talk about? Well, I want to talk about this Diego Carlos, to be honest. I'm seeing a bit more chatter to do with him. Now, you may or you may not remember that I think it was towards the end of last year, there were some bold claims coming out that we'd agreed to sign him. We had a deal to sign him. Because I remember people approaching me going, why aren't you talking about Diego Carlos? It's in the bag. The reports have come out. Liverpool have agreed to sign him. Not speculation like Liverpool to bid. Liverpool were signing him. And I just said, well, I ain't heard anything like that. No one said anything like that to me. There's just speculation. The reports that came out of Spain at the time were adamant that a deal was in place with Liverpool, but it just didn't feel right to me. So I never touched it, and it kind of went away. It came back earlier this year a little bit, probably in January. I can't remember, and then it's ramped up again this last week or two. If you don't know who he is, he's a centre back. I think he's 27. Yes, he's 27 years of age, born in Brazil. He plays for Sevilla in Spain, and he's been with them, it says, since 2019. To see if he had any, no mention of any caps international level. On the 31st of May 2019, Spanish club Sevilla announced they had reached an agreement with Nantes for the transfer of Diego Carlos. So I've just been, look, I don't know a lot about him, right? I know he's a decent defender. He's been linked with Barcelona and Real Madrid. What made me chuckle was I looked to see how much his wages apparently are, and it's got him down as £8,700 a week. God, would you even get out of bed for that, guys, as a professional footballer? I think he joined Sevilla for £16 million, roughly, on a 5-year deal. Now, the reports this week, which I'm sure you've seen, and last week, basically say that Klopp wants to sign him. He wants him to be Virgil van Dijk's new partner at Liverpool in the heart of the defence, and the valuation on the fee is mooted at around £65 million. Again, these reports are originating from Spain. He has a release clause in his contract with Sevilla, apparently, reportedly, which is 65.8 million, which is where they're getting the 65 from. And the reports in Spain are saying that Barcelona are in the race, that infamous race, and that they've been looking to sign the Brazilian for some time. And everyone believes that he can make the step up, to a Champions League club like Liverpool is. Depends if they act. I don't know. Are we a Champions League club? We are, aren't we? We are. We're the oldest of the Champions League. All right. So there was a little bit today, this morning, that I saw that said Liverpool's chances of signing him have received a boost after Sevilla identified a preferred replacement for the Brazilian defender. Again, these are reports coming from Spain. It's reported that Sevilla have begun the hunt, the search for a replacement, a successor, with Porto centre-half Diogo Leite, you know, I'm like with names, as their preferred option. You see, and this also says Real Madrid boss Zinedine Zidane supposedly is eyeing him as an ideal long-term replacement for Sergio Ramos. And I don't know, guys, I don't know why I'm a bit like, why I don't believe it too much. I mean, is it because nothing came in towards the end of last year? I'm sure it was December. Is it that? Is it just because I'm thinking, it was a load of bullshit? Or is there something in it? I mean, going by the pattern, you know, they made claims, you know, in December, premature claims, if you like, if we were interested in that an agreement was in place. So that would, you know, like, so we might have been sniffing around him in December or November time, whenever, I can't remember what month it was. It was definitely towards the end of last year. And then I think that we were sniffing around him, or not sniffing around him, I've got to be specific with my wording. I think we were then linked with him a few months ago, which would suggest January, the January window. And now it's come back. Is that because our interest has been genuine all that time and that we're looking at a summer move for him? I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? I mean, we know that Lovren is going to be going, and I know you're all like that. Yes. And there's even been a suggestion that we might go for 2 centre-backs. And but I just don't know. I don't know, guys. What's the, you know, the boy at Leeds United? Let's get his profile up while I'm talking to you. My internet's very slow. I think it's because everyone is at home. How's things going? Let me know how you're doing as well, guys. Like I said, I put a video on my YouTube channel quite about the lockdown here and, you know, mental, you know, how it is affecting people mentally. And I was asking people, you know, I'd love you to subscribe to my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham, OLDHM. Pop over, come over and drop me a comment. Gets us away from football a little bit. So Ben White, you see, I think this Ben White's on the radar. He's 22 years of age. He's a centre-back. He's currently playing for Leeds United on loan from Brighton. And he's made 37 league appearances this season, I think. He signed for Leeds in July 2019 on loan until the end of the season. And at the same time signed a 1-year contract extension at Brighton. Here we go. Here, look, this is interesting. It says on the 4th of September 2019, after impressive performances during the month of August, White won the EFL Championship PFA Player of the Month award for August 2019. And then in November last year, due to his displays for Leeds, it was reported that the £20 million rated White was being scouted by Premier League side Liverpool, with Brighton manager Graham Potter advising that White wouldn't be recalled from Leeds and that his future would be at Brighton at the end of his loan spell. On the 23rd of December, after continuing his form, he won the EFL Championship Best Young Player, an award by Sky Sports, and he was watched by England manager Gareth Southgate in January of this year. Now, his style of play is down as a ball-playing centre-back with good technical ability. And he was also praised by former manager Mike Flynn for his tough tackling style. He can also play as a defensive midfielder or as a right back, so he's got some versatility there, and we know that Klopp likes that. You get a versatile player and it maybe saves you entering the market for a couple of players. This is why the boss does such a good job with his options in your squad. That's what I think. He describes his own style as a cool, calm player, and he's known for his surging forward runs with the ball, helping create quick counter-attacks from deep. White's style of play has been compared to John Stones and Rio Ferdinand. Now, if we look on KopTalk.com and put in the top there Ben White, there was some former pro said he would be ideal for Liverpool. I'm going to look at this because this is like rejogging my own memory. I didn't even know I was going to talk to you about Ben White. So let's just see what we put on KopTalk. We've got one in February. No, let's go further back. Let's go back to November. And this says Liverpool are continuing to monitor Brighton and Hove Albion defender Ben White, 22-year-old centre-back on loan at Leeds, who can also play on the right side of the defence, and he's doing exceptionally well. Performance is going unnoticed, and not going unnoticed, with scouts from Liverpool and Manchester United frequently casting their eyes over him. Leeds want to sign him on a permanent deal, but that's not of interest to his parent club. Here we are. This is what I was thinking here of. It says, former Leeds United striker Noel Whelan believes Liverpool would be an ideal destination for the young defender. Speaking in October, I think this would be, he said he's perfect for Premier League football. He ticks every single box for the modern centre-back. He's destined for a top 4 club. He's that good. He makes good decisions defensively. He is quick, very capable on the ball. He fits the Liverpool style perfectly as he can play from the back and bring the ball out. He's not aerially dominant, but I don't think that matters as much these days. It's very rare you're up against a 6'4" centre forward. The physical side of the game is still there, but it's not as important as it once was. And the article on KopTalk.com ends, is White on Liverpool's radar? Yes, we believe so, and we believe that there's a real chance he could end up at Anfield. Our scouts have tracked him for a couple of years now, and we can see his name being recommended for recruitment. Liverpool do have some young talent waiting in the ranks, but we still wouldn't be surprised if a bid in the region of £20 million went into Brighton next year, meaning this year. So that opinion was 21st of November last year. And then I did another article in February this year. Liverpool are continuing to monitor him. Then it's got the same blurb about, his ability and things like that. And it also says that Liverpool scout Andy O'Brien, I think it's Brien, Brien, I don't know, is assigned to him, and he's been feeding back progress reports to Reds boss Jurgen Klopp. So we must have had information earlier in the year that this Andy chap, you'll probably know who he is. There's a link on his profile, to his profile, which I think is on LinkedIn. Yeah, it is. It's on LinkedIn. Yeah. Should we click on it, see what it says? See, my memory's not too bad sometimes. I know that was a few months ago, but I remember it being on LinkedIn. If you want to look yourself, it's Andy Obrien. That is obviously taking forever to load up, as it would. Internet's shocking. This video is going to take ages to put online. While that's loading up, let me go back to the article in February, did I say? Yeah, February. A 22-year-old possesses great technical ability and is a tough tackler, blah, blah, blah. Surging runs to assist in counter-attack. Great passer of the ball too. Liverpool looking at centre-backs and left-backs ahead of the summer window. Dejan Lovren is expected to leave the club, while cover is needed for Andy Robertson. So anyway, that's not loading up in the background. I can't be asked with that. So I'm not quite so sure, guys. I welcome your thoughts on this. So if you want to throw any names into the hat regarding potential centre-backs. I was talking about this in the live stream on here last night, I think it was. I haven't seen a great deal of centre-backs linked with us, which could suggest that maybe they have got someone identified that they're going to go for, because usually you would see maybe 4 or 5 names or something. I can think of 2 or 3. Diego Carlos, that name won't go away, but you've also, you've often got to think, is that speculation? Is that, agent talk? Are they trying to get him, is it severe even, trying to get interest in their player, with the likes of Real Madrid and Barcelona reportedly looking at him? It's just something doesn't sound right. But I don't know if I'm basing that just on what happened towards the end of last year, because I'm going to contradict myself now and say that the pattern is kind of right. So you've got like towards the end of the year, a little bit around January, and then a bit now in April before the summer window, the normal summer window, because we don't know what's going to happen because of the pandemic with the fucking awful COVID. So all I'm going to say, I'm not ruling it out, but I'm not ruling it in. I don't know. I think I was kind of making this video to say, have you heard this, guys? What do you think? Does any of you got any, can you provide any information on him in terms of, have you seen him play? Is he any good? But the one that I've been, speaking to people about a couple of times, people that have come to me have said, we're definitely interested in this Ben White. And I haven't had that about Diego Carlos. Now, don't get me wrong, guys. People don't just come to me and tell me what's going on. It's about who you know and who's heard what. Sometimes transfers can happen out of thin air. and you don't know anything. So I'm certainly not saying that we're not interested in Diego Carlos. I think there's too much chatter around him. There's something not right with it. I don't know. I'm waffling, aren't I? Okay. Anyway, keep an eye on Ben White. I don't know what the latest is with regards to him. Should we just have a quick look at that before I sign off? Just put that and see if anything comes up in the news regarding Ben White. Like I say, my internet is terribly, terribly slow. I've got 600 megabit up and down, and I've got another line that's 300 up and down, and both of them are unworkable, really, at the moment. So I could change the internet. Should I change it? Let me change the internet connection while I'm talking to you guys. See if that works. Yes, so my faster line's working. Let's have a look. Ben White. Liverpool scout in Brighton defender Ben White, almost every game on loan at Leeds. Now I did tell you about the the Liverpool scout that is assigned to him, so that ties in, and that was in February. So it was February, wasn't it? Yeah. So I would believe that, guys. Honestly, I really would. You see what I mean about like the confidence I've got in our interest in Ben White compared to Diego Carlos. And I'm just, when you look at the price, £65 million, 27 years of age, versus maybe £20 million for 22 years of age, where would you go? You're going to say now, aren't you? You're going to say, well, you can't just pick based on age and money. No, you can't. Maybe the other kid, Carlos, is a far greater player. Who knows? I don't know. I've never seen him play, guys. Not from memory, anyway. So this says Liverpool scouting Brighton defender Ben White almost every game on loan at Leeds. Sky Sports behind that. That's how bizarre is that? That is, they just mentioned the same scout that I mentioned, and this was a report from last week. That's interesting for me. Liverpool scout Andy O'Brien has been at almost every Leeds game watching the defender and assessing whether he can make an impact at Anfield. This follows up reports from earlier in the season which confirmed that Liverpool have a genuine interest in bringing White to Merseyside. Former Leeds, Tottenham and England goalkeeper Paul Robinson has backed White to develop into Virgil van Dijk's long-term partner in central defence at Liverpool. Robinson said Liverpool will be monitoring him very closely. It is going to be very tough for Leeds to hold on to him. From a Leeds point of view, you would like to think they could hold on to him, but it would be very difficult. We don't even belong to Leeds. Of course it's going to be difficult. Brighton will want him back, and I'm told Liverpool are already looking at him, as others will. If Brighton go down, it will be a certainty he goes. I can see him playing a top 6 side next season. The other pro said top 4, didn't he? He would certainly be in the frame to get a start. He has served his apprenticeships alongside Van Dijk. He would grow in stature and it would be an outstanding partnership. And I've seen this kid play. I like him. I have a little soft spot for Leeds United. My uncle, who I've been very close to through my life, he's like the main football nut in the family, if you like, or was when I was a kid. He's a Leeds United supporter, and we've gone to Leeds Liverpool fixtures together over the years. When I was 14, 15, I used to go and see Leeds play quite a bit because they were like quite just down the road, an hour and a half on a train maybe, and it was cheaper for me than getting to Liverpool. And also, I was going to these football games without the consent of my parents. My dad was a senior police officer. He would have gone fucking mental if he'd have known I was going to Leeds United. Do you know what I mean? And even more mental if he'd known I'd gone to Liverpool. He'd have gone mental because of Leeds, because of their reputation, but he would have gone mental at Liverpool because I'd have been going to the other side of the country, as a 14, 15-year-old. And I used to save up my dinner money to go to Liverpool. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, fuck off you've never missed a meal. You're right. But I think I used to get £1 or £1.50 a day at secondary school. And I would save that and jump on a train on a Saturday. Maybe I don't know how many weeks I would have. I can't imagine that a week would have been enough, but a couple of weeks or whatever. I must have been starving, guys. I made up for it in adult life. I'd get the train to Liverpool, 3-4 hours on the train, go and pay on the gate at the Kop. I must have done. I can't have had a ticket because I wouldn't have had a bank card to do it. My parents didn't know I was going there. And then I'd watch Liverpool, and then after the game, run. I know what you're thinking. No, I did. I ran, even though there was no ice cream vans around. I ran And to get back to Lime Street and get the last train home, it was a lot of pressure, because I knew if I ever had got stuck in Liverpool, my father would have murdered me. My mum would have told me off when she'd have gone, leave him alone, you've told him now. My dad would have gone fucking ballistic, you know what I mean? So, but I always had a soft spot for Leeds, and I want them to get promoted and stuff like that. I think they're a big club. I think they're a well-supported club, great atmosphere at Ellen Road. So I have seen this kid play, and I like him, and I think he does fit right into Klopp's philosophy, his football mind. He's got that bit of counter-attack, he's got that ability to support on attack. He's the right age, he is a good price. Diego Carlos, is that the lazy option, or is that a brilliant option because he's maybe more experienced whatnot in his career? He's got 5 years on Ben White. I 1,000,000% believe that we are interested in Ben White. That's how I feel right today. With regards to Diego Carlos, I honestly don't know. I don't know. I've got a bit of niggling thoughts, because I remember saying, bullshit, he hasn't signed for us. Yes, he has, I've read it. And it's like, no, he fucking hasn't. And but the pattern does suggest Liverpool could be interested. Maybe that's the situation. But Liverpool are going to be looking at more than one player, aren't they, guys? Let me know what your thoughts are about Diego Carlos. Do you know him? Have you seen him play? Do you know him? Yeah, he lives next door, do you know him? His style? Do you know much about him? Do you know anything about Ben White? What do you think will happen? Who would you recommend as a centre back? Have you seen other options? Someone was saying to me last night, I'm sure someone said in the chat last night, about a kid at Leipzig that was a centre back. I can't remember. But it's certainly on my mind, and it's certainly something that I'm going to keep an eye on looking forward. And I will be watching everything to do with Carlos, for sure, as Rafa would say. So keep an eye on the Diego Carlos one, because it's interesting. Ben White, absolutely. All right, guys. So I'm going to get off now. I'm going to go and get... I've left my tea bag in my tea. Yorkshire tea. Biscuit brew, yes. All right, kids. I'll speak to you later. Out your days, all right. Listen, don't forget, KopTalk podcast will be out today. If you like my videos, you'll like my podcast, because you don't have to look at me. And I think yesterday's was about 50 minutes long. I'm not sure. The Dunk Knows Best one was 50 minutes long. We have a good laugh on that with some real banter. So Dunk Knows Best and the KopTalk podcast, both of them updated today, and I'll be live on here shortly. Okay, if you see this video, and if you miss during the day, I'm sure we'll be live around tea time, early evening tonight as well. All right, guys. And if you like my channel, please give me, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to support me, I would love you to support me and become part of my squad. Just click on join underneath the video. Gives you a sexy green name, makes you really fucking important. Honestly, guys, really important. And you get a nice little football next to your name as well in the comments. And everyone goes, oh, look at him, look, he's a member. Yeah, that's right. There's 3 options. The basic one's just like buy me a coffee once a month or something like that. And we've got quite a few members. I'll give you a shout out video. I'm working my way through those. Yeah, that's about it. So I'll catch up with you later, guys. Try and have a good day. Keep your chins up if you're feeling a bit down with the lockdown and that. And I hope you and your family and your friends are all well. I'll speak to you soon, guys.